Hello, my loves. Welcome into this video for the new moon in Scorpio solar eclipse. I'm so excited to get started here on this journey. First things first, if you are new, hi, welcome in. It's nice to see you. It's nice to have you here. I do have a tutorial video, how to get the most out of these readings with my tips and tricks and how to engage with this material and your spiritual support team as we receive this guidance. You can watch that video if you feel called, if it feels supportive. It's not necessary, but it is there for you if it feels good to you. For those who are not new, hello, y'all. How are you? It's good to have you back here. Thank you so much for being here. As you hopefully already know, it is a pleasure to be offering this service to you, this guidance, this self-understanding through astrology, this connecting with our spiritual support team, our inner knowing through the spiritual sacred tools of the cards. And it's an honor and a joy, and I am so lit up by this Scorpio solar eclipse, and I'm excited to jump in and talk about it. So first, let's talk about new moon energy. New moons always represent for us new beginnings. New cycles are starting. The cycle that's starting is always under the theme of the sign that it's in, and it relates to the house that this energy is happening for us. We'll get more in depth with that house energies in just a moment. So the energy that this new moon is happening in is in the sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio is a fixed sign, which means that it is an unchanging energy. It's also a water sign, which represents the emotional realm. So essentially, the Scorpion energy is fixed water, unchanging emotions. That's this energy of the Scorpion archetype. Now, the Scorpion is the totem of the Scorpio energy, and it represents this deep dive into deep knowledge, into deep knowing, that relentless search for truth, diving deep into the core of who we are, why we're here, and really understanding that on a deep, deep level. The Scorpion energy also has this energy of flying high, like an eagle or like a phoenix, because it has this transformative nature. The Scorpio season happens during All Hallows Eve, which is when the veil is the thinnest between our world and the other side, and it represents this death and rebirth energy. So if you didn't watch the readings for the solar season in Scorpio, where we dive into where Scorpio is occurring in your own chart and you learn more about how to embody that energy and we get guidance from our support team, I recommend you check out that video after these videos if that feels good and right to you. Now, let's talk about eclipse energy. So the normal lunar phase, lunar cycle is 28 days. From one new moon to another, or one full moon to the next. Eclipse energies last us for 6 months. So this is a new beginning that we're going to see unfold and experience unfolding over the course of 6 months. This eclipse is referencing the lunar eclipse when the moon was full in Scorpio 6 months earlier on May 16th. So this energy here is a culmination of 6 months prior. I did a reading for that eclipse, and I will be reviewing the information that came through from that reading at the end of the videos. So this cycle is going to go from October 25th, which is when this eclipse happens, at 6:49 in the morning, that's Eastern time. And this energy, like I said, is going to be potent for 6 months. So it's going to last until May 5th, 23, which is going to be another lunar eclipse in Scorpio. More time to focus on this energy and utilize these powerful eclipse portals to move us forward in our personal goals and in our collective goals. Now, before we dive deep into this energy, into this information that's coming through here, I want to take a moment to talk about a cycle that's much, much larger that I haven't really talked about before this moment. So we are in a cycle called the Great Year. And some of you may have heard of this through the age of Aquarius. We're moving out of the age of Pisces and we're moving into the age of Aquarius. The Great Year actually goes backwards in the zodiac. So the energy of Aquarius is humanitarian focused. So overarching all of the work that we're doing right now is this energy of supporting humanity, supporting the collective, becoming a united, collaborative species. That's the overall theme of all of this energy and all of this work that we are doing on individual levels. It's permeating out into the collective. So this Scorpio new moon solar eclipse wanted me to connect with you and show you the power of prayer. So it doesn't matter what your spiritual beliefs are. You could call this an affirmation. You could call this an intention. You could call this a prayer, a meditation. The word that you use to describe what we're going to do here in just a moment is up to you to determine. And you can work with your spiritual support team in ways that feel good and right for you. But what I was receiving was that this powerful solar eclipse is a moment for us to make a wish, to start something new. And I'm inviting all of us watching these videos to take a moment and to set aside our personal goals, our personal life, whatever's going on an individual basis, and set a prayer, set an intention for humanity with this solar eclipse. My prayer, my intention is that our entire human family wake up to the truth of our collaborative, loving, and selfless natures. This is actually something that I've been learning about scientifically. It is proven, and there is an explanation for why we as a species have been so angry, alienated, competitive, and egocentric, despite our natural desires to be cooperative, to be loving, and to act in service of the whole. So this is my intention and my prayer. I'm going to read what's called the Ho'oponopono prayer. And I invite you to say this prayer with me and hold this intention for our human collective. Again, holding the intention that we all wake up to the truth within us, to our own natures of being collaborative, cooperative, and loving towards our human family as a whole. Here's the prayer. Father, mother, child, as one, if I, my family, relatives, and ancestors have offended you, your family, your relatives, and ancestors, in thoughts, words, deeds, and actions, from the beginning of creation to the present, we ask your forgiveness. Let's cleanse, purify, release, cut all the negative memories, blocks, energies, and vibrations. Let's transmute these unwanted energies into pure light. And it is said, it is done, and set free. Thank you all for joining me in this collective intention and prayer. I don't normally do this in my videos, but I was really guided to do this. Another reason I think I'm guided to do this is because, as I mentioned, the Scorpio energy is the thinning of the veil. This is the time for us to connect to our ancestors, the ones who did all of this work to get us where we are so that we could wake up to the beautiful freedom and truth of what it is to be a human living in cooperation with other humans on this earth. This is what the age of Aquarius promises us. And each phase that we go through is helping us to move closer and closer to this reality, bringing it into form. So back to the readings. How do you know which reading is for you? Well, you are going to have two readings. You're going to first watch the interpretation for where the moon was when you were born. So if you don't know your birth chart information, this is the time for you to watch my tutorial video on how to find your birth chart information on astro.com. You go to that site, enter in your birth data. If you don't know your birth time, please don't stop there. I have a tutorial video linked in that video that'll tell you how to find your birth time so that you can access this all-powerful information of the vibration that was in play the moment you took your first breath in this life. So you're going to watch the interpretation for where the moon was when you were born, and you're also going to check in to see what house this current eclipse is happening for you. So how do you find that out? I'll explain that in the video, so if you don't know, watch that video too. But you're going to look for where Scorpio, symbolized by the M with the little pointy tail, occurs at 2 degrees exactly in 2 degrees, okay? And whatever house that's in, you're going to also watch the video for the house reading. Now, of course, you can skip through the introduction once you've watched it once, and you can skip through where it says house interpretation. Watch the card reading and then scroll ahead. Okay, I do timestamps on these videos to help you guys scroll through the information that you don't need or that is repeat, and help you to get the most out of this information and not waste any of your time. Okay? If after watching the tutorial video you have questions on how to find this information and what video is right for you, please feel free to reach out. So if you feel called to support me for this information, for this guidance, for the way that it supports you, you can do that in so many ways. You can like, you can comment, you can engage with this material, which helps get me out to more people. You can share this with anyone you think would find it interesting and valuable. And of course, you can support me in my services. I have a weekly chakra meditation service on WhatsApp. It's only $14.40 a month. You can go to devotedandvulnerable.com/services to sign up for that. I also offer chart readings on that website at that same address, so you can go there. And if you just feel called to offer me a financial contribution out of the goodness of your heart and it feels aligned to you, you can do that at paypal.me/devotedvulnerable. Link is in the description. So we are going to be getting guidance from the Angel Therapy deck by Doreen Virtue. And we are ready to dive into what our spiritual support team wants us to know about the new beginnings we are starting in the next 6 months. So this reading is for you if the moon was in Gemini when you were born, and or if this 2 degrees of Scorpio solar eclipse is happening in your 3rd house. If you haven't already taken a few deep breaths, please go ahead and do that. Call in your spiritual support team. Open your heart to receive the guidance that's most aligned for you at this time. Pause if you need more time for this. And let's see what guidance is coming through for you. Love this card. Singing and dancing. Express yourself and awaken your psychic senses through the magical power of music and movement. Yeah! All right, we're going to get into the interpretation for the moon energies. If you're here for the house reading, scroll ahead to that. Hello, Moon in Gemini friends. Welcome in. I am a Moon in Gemini, so I am here with you for all of this. If you already know the moon energies in Gemini, you can scroll ahead to the card interpretation. I'm going to give a little explanation here about what the moon in Gemini means. The moon represents our emotions, and the sign that it's in represents how our emotions express. So how our emotions express is through the archetype of the Gemini energy, which is the energy of the twins, something that's the same but different. Our mode is mutable, also known as adaptable, means that we are very changing when it comes to our emotions, and the element of our emotions is air, which is actually the realm of mentality. So our emotions are mentally adaptable. Mutable air, you could say. We may find that our emotions are imaginative, energetic, witty, clever, and adaptable. So let's bring this into the singing and dancing guidance. I mean, yeah, of course. Singing and dancing is movement in and of itself. Air is movement in and of itself, and it's changing movement, right? So we're being invited for the next 6 months as we celebrate this eclipse energy to bring movement into our body. And also, what is singing? Air moving through our body and expressing. This is so fun and powerful. I recommend you make a practice, a weekly practice of dancing and singing. Now, here's something I need to tell you about singing. The songs that you sing are spells that you are casting for your future, and there's no way to get around it. So be mindful of the songs that you are singing. If you do not want to create emotional states, outside experiences that reflect the energy of the song you are singing, then I'm inviting you for the next 6 months, to watch out, to be mindful of the vibration of what you are singing. I have a playlist filled with only songs that uplift me. There's songs about things that I want to create in the world. There's songs about truth that I know deep in my heart. And I love singing them. I love offering them to the world. I now look back at some of the songs that I sang as a teenager and even as a young adult, and I recognize how I unknowingly played out those energies in my life because I spent so much time empathizing and emoting those vibrations. And when I started being conscious about the words that I was saying in the songs that I was singing, my life started to change. So my beautiful moon in Geminis. Air also represents the communication realm. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So it's important to be mindful about your words and singing for this reason as well, because you are emotionally a spellcaster, okay, with the words that you are using. And it's time for you to really embody this knowledge, this wisdom, and this truth, and to move forward in an empowered way. And to know that what it is that you're singing and championing, what you're singing and celebrating through the power of your voice is energy that you really do want to create in your world. So go ahead and check out which house this eclipse is happening for you in, so that you can see where in your life this singing and dancing energy is most aligned for you to express. But I would also recommend you make a daily practice or weekly practice at least of dancing, putting on your favorite songs to move to, and singing your favorite creation songs that help uplift you. All right. For now, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors that universal light within you. Namaste. So, this 2 degrees of Scorpio solar eclipse is happening in your 3rd house. Welcome in. This is my alignment according to the whole house system. So I'm right here with you. Let's talk a little bit about the 3rd house and what it represents, and then we will get into the interpretation for the card. So where in your life this new beginning is occurring is in the house of communication. You are changing in this realm, in this area of your life. You have a new beginning here. So this could mean early education. This could mean technology, learning, language, and transportation. These are some of the areas that this communication house represents. So when it comes to singing and dancing, we are going to be very, very, very extremely mindful of these songs that we are singing. We are encouraged and invited to sing as much as we can for the next 6 months, because this is a way of communicating, right? You might actually be singing in an early education environment. You might be singing through technology, like online. You might be learning how to sing. You might be very mindful about the words that you are singing, which we'll talk about more in a second. You may be traveling and singing. All of these things may be possible for you over the next 6 months. So, my friend, when we're talking about communication and we're talking about singing, we need to get honest and real here. The words that you say, the songs that you sing, cast spells. There's no way around it. This is the Scorpio energy, which deals with magic. So I'm going to talk about magic now. Your words are magic spells. So when you sing, it's a magic spell that's amplified. So if you're singing about that guy who will never love you and you love that song, you are going to be casting your spell. That's going to be in your energy. That's going to be in your vibration over the next 6 months. This is what you're communicating to the universe you want. I want heartache. I want despair. I want the human condition and all of its angst. Okay? Or, I want freedom. I want collective love and celebration. I want to celebrate the power of kindness. And I want to celebrate the beauty of our spirits. I don't know what's happening right now. Again, maybe this is because it's my alignment that I'm so squirrely. But it's important, okay? I can't overstate this importance. I have a friend who runs a karaoke. I have a few friends, actually, that run karaoke bars, I guess you say. Karaoke bars. And they keep inviting me to come out and sing. And I keep telling them they don't have any songs that I sing on their playlists. And I confirmed it, actually. Something in my playlist of songs that I sing. I only sing the songs that I know are casting spells that I want in this world. I have a whole playlist. I actually have 2 playlists now. I rehearse them. I actually have a busking permit to go out and sing these on the street. So this is, for me, something that I've already practiced, and this card is coming in and saying, yeah, it's time to express this in a deeper way. It's time to share this probably with the outer world, rather than just doing it, in my house or like once or twice out on the street. Make a playlist. Be mindful of the things that you are singing. Listen to the words that you are saying and ask yourself, is this a spell I want to cast on myself or not? And if it's not, for the next 6 months, it's time to put that song down. It's time to learn new songs, new energies. There are so many great songs out there that have such great vibes and such great creative power. It's time to find those and start a new relationship with your singing and the energy of what it is that you are singing. Okay? Also dancing. Movement. You can communicate through movement as well, and be mindful of what it is that you're communicating and expressing. Make sure it's part of this new world energy, this new vibration, this new life that you want to create. As you move and express yourself, merge the two and be aware of what it is that you are really communicating through your expression. Yes, there is a place for being able to communicate the depths of our emotion and the hardest things that we've ever had to feel and experience. And because this is a new beginning, this is a different energy. This is a new, expressing something that you maybe haven't felt before, but you're moving as if it was your truth, and you're singing as if it was your truth in order to help actualize this truth. It's almost like the things of the past and the songs of the past and the movement of the past and the expressions of the past based on the past is past. And the newness, the Scorpio Solar Eclipse, is inviting you to express, to move, to communicate what it is that you are creating, which is something that's unknown, but something that you will start to know through the expression of it. And before you go, I do have a little review for you, a little notebook here. So we're going to review the information that came through for the 3rd house during the lunar eclipse in Scorpio 6 months ago. So back then, we were dealing with the themes of vacuuming away fear and the 9 of air energy, which is the energy of sleepless nights. So over the last 6 months, you've really been conquering your fear. You've really been learning how your mental sphere and your focus on doomsday, worst case scenarios is causing a drain of energy, sleepless nights. And your guides were like, you need to vacuum away this fear to free yourself. And now that you're free, it's time to sing and dance and start new beginnings. That's really what I'm feeling here for you, third housers. If you want to go back and watch the information for that, you can go do that. I did a vacuum away fear meditation. If you still feel that that's relevant for you. Back when I offered that information, I said that this was going to be a year-long cycle because there's also these same eclipses happening next year in 2023. So it could still be something that you want to focus on and work on. Or you may feel like that cycle's complete. It's going to be up to you on an individual basis. Okay, my beautiful third house, Scorpio, 2 degrees, solar eclipses. Thank you so much for being here. Comment, let me know how this is resonating with you. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors that universal light within you. Namaste.